Hey everyone, and welcome to r/EntitledParents. And oh my god, it has been a while. In case you don't know, this is a place where we get to see wonderful stories of mums and dads being absolutely entitled. I'm sure you've all been here before, so I won't waste another second and get straight into this first post by user/CheerioDude number 2. Bit of backstory, I am mildly colourblind, protanopia I think, and I've had this my whole life. I mostly struggle with telling the difference between pink and yellow, but there are more colours out there I can't see. This all started when the primary school my younger brother, 11 at the time and not colourblind, was putting on a party/fair. I don't remember what for, but I think it had something to do with fair trade. Now, my mother made me cut out some paper chains along with other people in the gym to prepare for the fair. More and more people left until it got to the point where it was just me and another kid and an old gentleman at the back. Remember this part. And this kid was professional at making paper chains. I struggled to keep up. I was sitting closer to the piles of paper than he was. When the kid ran out of paper, he kindly asked me to pass some of the yellow paper. I pulled some pink paper out of a pile, thinking it was yellow, and he looked at me confused. So I responded with, "Wait, is this pink or yellow?" And he responded, "Pink," and led me to the yellow paper. I apologised and told him I was colourblind, and he started to ask questions. They were questions of curiosity, such as, "Do you see red?" or "What colour is that?" Then enters the entitled mother. The EM in this case was the kid's mother, and had entered the gym looking for the kid's father and overheard us talking about my colourblindness. The EM first said, "Sweetie, please keep your distance. I don't want you to become colourblind as well." Me, being utterly confused, replied with, "Excuse me, you can't catch colourblindness from another person." The entitled mother then proceeded to give me BS looks and then walked out of the gym with her son in tow. I'd say about 5 minutes later, she returns with the head of the department and said, "Yep, he's the one." The head then approached me and said, "Are you the one causing disturbances down here?" No, what do you mean? This woman thinks my colourblindness is contagious and that I'm going to give it to her son. The head of the course didn't believe me, being a 14-year-old at the time who slacked off a lot. My mother overheard the conversation and walked into and started to defend me until the entitled mother yelled, "Colourblindness is contagious and you're going to give it to everyone here if you don't leave." Me and my mum looked at her, utterly shocked, and the head was unaware of whose side she was on until she said, "Alright, Mrs. EM and UOP, I'm going to ask you both to leave as both of you are making a disturbance here." But then the old gentleman at the back of the gym stood up and said, "There is no disturbance, miss. Mrs. EM is the only one harassing anybody here," before sitting back down again. Having heard his side, the head banned the entitled mother from the school fair. Don't worry about the kid though, he got to go with his dad. I saw the entitled mother drive out of the school, and I haven't seen her since. Also, as it turns out, the old gentleman was the school's former headmaster. Yeah, I've heard of some pretty damn crazy entitled parents, but none quite as dumb as this one thinking that colourblindness is contagious. I'd be curious to know how this entitled mother thinks colourblindness works. Maybe she thinks there's a vaccine that her kids take for colourblindness? Oh wait, she's an entitled mother. She probably doesn't believe in vaccines anyway. What am I even talking about? Anyways, let's leave that one behind and move straight onto the next one by user/AislingFlitch. My fiancé, 30 male, and I, 28 female, recently made the call to massively reduce the size of our wedding guest list in light of COVID. We aren't getting married until next summer, but we can't be sure how things will be by then, and we didn't see the sense in piling money into a big wedding that might not happen. We also realised that we weren't fussed on the big wedding in the first place, so it actually has given us the opportunity to have a wedding that we really want. We've decided to have a small party at home with just immediate family and the bridesmaids and groomsmen, approximately 15 guests. We both have large extended family, but everyone has been very understanding and supportive of the decision, or so I thought. My cousin/bridesmaid recently revealed that her mother has been discussing my wedding in full confidence that I'm going to feel guilty and end up inviting her after all. She's a woman who has often crossed boundaries in the past. Her husband, my dad's brother, died when I was quite young, and the family all gathered around her for support. I grew up alongside her children, which she's taken as a license to act as a mother figure to me. This was fine when we were children, but has been intrusive as an adult. She inserts herself when my own parents would respect my independence. She regularly criticizes my choices and dismisses any opinion I have that opposes hers. She recently tried to get in to see my sister's newborn baby, even though her own husband wasn't allowed to stay more than a few minutes after the birth because of COVID rules, and me and my parents won't see her at all until restrictions lift. When we were planning the big wedding, she inserted herself when it came to invites and flowers. She compared my wedding every step of the way to my sister's big wedding 3 years ago, and made insinuations about how my sister's relationship with her childhood sweetheart was superior to mine with my fiancé because we weren't together as long. Anytime we called her out on crossing the line, she would play the dead husband card. To be honest, part of my happiness with a small wedding was knowing she would have nothing to do with it. My fear now is that she's just going to show up anyway. She'll play it off as just dropping over to say congrats and pile on the guilt by mentioning how much my uncle would want to be there, which melts my dad every time. But in doing so, she'll be going against my express wishes and breaking all sorts of COVID rules. It would never occur to her that when I say I don't want to invite the whole family, that includes her. Yopi, the relatives are always the toughest ones, and guys, I might give you the title. Entitled Aunt may need a specific invite to tell her not to come to my wedding. And I think, OP, that means you already know what you need to do. You need to be clear with your aunt, tell her, you ain't coming to my wedding. You've ruined enough already, you're not doing it here. Sure enough, some yelling and screaming will ensue, but it's not like you want your aunt around your life anyway, so maybe if she gets really offended and never talks to you again, it'll actually be a good thing. And here's the next one by user/alter egos rule. My mum, 23 female and 45 female, won't stop wearing my clothes. I don't understand if I'm a monster for feeling this way, but ever since I could fit into grown-up clothes, my mum has typically wanted to wear whatever I buy for myself. Sometimes new dresses that I've not even worn, she will casually roam around the house wearing them, knowing very well that the tags are not even off. After the pandemic, due to the weight I gained, I had to move up the size. So now, everything is up for grabs. The clothes that we supposedly bought for Diwali, she already wore hers to work. The festival is like 2 weeks away, whereas mine are still saved for the occasion. She asked me yesterday how I would wear them. They're spaghetti straps, she doesn't prefer them, and when I answered, she asked me, I meant, how will I wear it? You know, I don't prefer such sleeves. She stretches out a good deal of my clothes, and basically wears anything that I buy for myself to work the very next day. Keep in mind that I'm at home due to the pandemic and study from home right now. Her normal reaction to things which somehow don't end up fitting her is berating me for having terrible taste in clothes. Moreover, she always complains that she has nothing to wear, when in fact her closet is twice as large and she wears everything she buys the very next day. I just save my clothes. And this has been the case for a really long time now. I've resorted to literally hiding new clothes, but for the festival I really couldn't because I have to wear these clothes in public. And she would get mad at me anyway if I sprung up new clothing out of nowhere and accuse me of hiding things. Anyway, is this normal? Is it normal for mums to have dibs on their daughters' clothes and for them to not even ask for permission and assume everything their daughters buy is for them to use and own? Am I a terrible, selfish person for feeling bad every time I see my mother prancing around in a new skirt I didn't even get a chance to wear? Moreover, she knows I get annoyed by it, but say nothing, which is why she always mocks me whenever she does it. Asks dumb questions like, oh, how am I supposed to wear this? And then gets mad at me if I let the slightest annoyance show on my face. Anyway, I'm really sorry, I just needed to vent. Yeah, look, Hopi, all I can say is that doesn't sound normal at all. Honestly, I wouldn't really know how to address it. The comments do a much better job of that than me. So, if you're interested in how to resolve these issues, follow the link down below, just in the description. All links are there. Feel free to have a look, have a read through the comments. A lot of people give some very good advice. And here's the next one by user/r/ and Redditor fan. I knew Karens were crazy, but not this crazy. So, for some backstory, I'm a 17-year-old boy and I ride my bike everywhere. And on this particular day, I rode all the way to the other side of my hometown, 6 miles away from my house. I stopped by the mall to get myself some food because, well, obvious reasons. When I got out of the food court serves as a mall entrance too, and got back on my bike, I saw this middle-aged woman with the Karen cut, cheap sunglasses, and tacky clothes with her kid. A girl with shortish blonde hair who looked to be between the ages of 8 and 12, who seemed confused and excited at the same time. They were standing right near my bike, so I decided to walk over and find out why. Hey, excuse me, what are you doing near my bike? Oh, it's yours? We were just checking it out. Entitled Kid has always wanted a bike. Sorry, it's not for sale. It's my only mode of transportation at the moment. I'm sure you could find something nice at Walmart or Target though. We weren't planning on buying a bike. We were hoping you could give us this one. I laugh. She must be joking, right? Why would you want this pink, purple and silver bike that's literally falling apart? Nope, she wasn't joking. What's so funny? I'm serious. If you don't want to give it to us, I might have to take it from you. I laugh again as I get on my bike. Sorry lady, you're crazy, go buy one. Now F off and leave me alone until I call the cops. There's literally a police station not even a block away from the mall. If you don't want to give us your bike, then fine, have it your way. I ride off before she can get in her car because that sounded threatening, and I was starting to get a bit scared of this crazy old woman. She and her daughter, who looked disappointed at that point, get in the car, and right as I get out of the mall parking lot and up on the crosswalk, where I have the right-of-way, I see Karen's huge SUV, a black Cadillac Escalade, peel out of a parking lot and speed down the street that I'm crossing. Fortunately for me, she didn't hit me on my bike, but she almost did. Literally only an inch closer to her car, and I would have probably not been here right now. She literally tried to run me over. What the actual F is wrong with her? Was she trying to kill me? She screams at me through her window, no words, just angry screaming, and then she hits another car at about 40-ish miles per hour it looked like. The people she hit were fine, just shaken up and angry. I didn't even need to call the police because they heard the bang from the crash and came over ASAP. Karen's Escalade only had some slight damage on the front end, grille, bumper and hood, that's about it. While the car she hit, a dark blue Toyota Prius, was totaled. One of the officers who showed up pulled me aside to ask what happened and to see if I knew anything. Basically, get a statement from me, and I told this man everything. After giving my statement to the police, I left. The last thing I saw before leaving the scene was Karen being pulled out of the car and her daughter being escorted to the sidewalk while waiting for a relative to get her. All I have to say after this incident is just, if you see a Karen inspecting your vehicle or modes of transport, run. Take your stuff and run. Don't even allow the Karens to speak to you. Thanks for reading, and I hope none of you guys ever have the misfortune of running into one of these foul creatures. Stay safe, my fellow Redditors. Yeah, thanks for the warning, OP. I'm sure everyone on this sub by now knows to stay away from the Karens. Stay away from that Karen haircut. It's harder though, when they mask themselves. They don't have the Karen haircut, they don't have the clothes, the makeup. It's just on the sly. They're hiding from us. You think you're talking to a normal person, and then bang, it's a Karen. I mean, at least you had the warning, OP, and it's a good thing you stayed safe and survived this incident. And guys, I think that post is going to be the last one for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel for Reddit videos once every week. It ain't much, but it's consistent. One video every week on a whole bunch of different subreddits. But guys, with that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and all I want to do is see you all here next time. See you later, guys.